My boyfriend constantly acts like he's better and smarter than everyone else and has better taste in movies. Now our relationship has met its ending. My boyfriend hosts his own podcast dedicated to movies, and he even has his own studio that he's renting out to record there. He has some co-hosts, legit recording equipment, and a decent following. I always go to the studio to just sit on the side and watch as he records, but I've noticed that he's become a bit different since the start of the podcast. On a podcast a few weeks ago, the topic was 2016 movies, as my boyfriend and his co-hosts revisited some of their favorite and least favorite films of 2016. One co-host brought up Arrival as their favorite film of 2016, and while he was talking, my boyfriend loudly said, "Yawn," and explained that he thought Arrival was boring. My boyfriend then goes into this giant rant about how he hated Arrival, calling it one of the most overrated movies ever. He says that he looks down on people who like the movie because he claims that they think they're smart, and he says that he's proud of himself for seeing past that movie and its faux attempts at intelligence. And whenever someone tried to change the subject, he'd just interrupt them and go back to talking about how much he hates Arrival. Then, just a few days ago, he was recording another show, and the topic was MCU movies. My boyfriend said that he thinks Age of Ultron is a hidden gem and a massively overlooked masterpiece. One of his co-hosts scoffed when he said those things, which set off my boyfriend. He started attacking the co-host for his taste in movies and started saying stuff like, "Just because I have a better understanding of the art of filmmaking, it doesn't mean you have to be jealous of me." That was actually enough for the co-host to just walk out in the middle of the show. My boyfriend said, "That's fine. I only want to talk to true film auteurs on this show." Just yesterday, I asked him if we could see Shazam together. Still, he simply responded with, "I deserve better than those DC movies." I confronted him and told him that he needs to stop acting like he's smarter than everyone over his taste in film, and he said, "Truth hurts, doesn't it?" And it's like this a lot. Whenever I'm watching a movie he doesn't like, he'll just scoff and say, "Typical." I'm thinking of breaking up with him, but I also feel weird about dumping him over him having differing views on the film. What do you think? Update: last night was another podcast between my boyfriend and his remaining co-host. Before every actual recording of a show, they always get together in another room to briefly go over what they're going to discuss on the show, and the topic this time was Star Wars. They were going to talk about the new trailer for Episode 9 and rank their favorite and least favorite Star Wars films. During the pre-show meeting, I was thinking about how I would most likely break up with him after the show had been recorded, but another opportunity presented itself. During the meeting, my boyfriend and the co-host discussed the Star Wars movies, and my boyfriend brought up that his favorite movie is Revenge of the Sith, and his least favorite is A New Hope. He said Revenge of the Sith is the most epic and action-packed, whereas the original movie is too dated. His co-host disagreed, and they started talking about their opinions, which led to them talking about The Last Jedi. Still, then my boyfriend turned that conversation into one about another highly divisive 2017 movie, Mother, starring Jennifer Lawrence. My boyfriend hailed it as one of the top 5 films of all time and the most artistic film he's ever seen. His co-host wanted to get back on track to Star Wars, but my boyfriend wanted to talk about Mother. The co-host responded with, "Mother is an edgy high schooler version of artistic." And that was enough for my boyfriend to go red in the face and say, "Well, at least I try to have actual taste unlike you." The co-host simply said, "I'm done," and got up and walked out of the room. My boyfriend just stood there, and then he turned on me. He said to me, "What the fuck are you looking at?" I just stood up and told him that we were done as a couple. I explained that I can't stand his crappy way of talking to people and constantly acting like he's so much better than everyone. He started telling me that he needed me and planned to ask me to join the podcast, but I just told him no and walked out of the room. While I was leaving the building and getting an Uber, my boyfriend stuck his head out of the front door and screamed, "Fucking can't." I just ignored him, went home, and now here I am. Update: I just wanted to let you know that I will no longer be giving out the link to the podcast in any more PMs. I've done that in a couple of PMs already, and my ex just texted me, telling me that the comments section in his podcast is being bombarded with trolls and harassment comments, one of which was a death threat that he's now reporting.